Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com. All daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including $40 5% best bets. As an added bonus, all new users will receive $25 in WagerBucks credited to their accounts, available for immediate use after their initial $9 Monday purchase. So make sure to take advantage of $9 Mondays at WagerTalk.com.
Welcome into First Pitch, Wager Talk's premier MLB betting show. I am Drew Martin, joined today by Bryan Leonard, and I believe Tony Slick Finn has made the show. It is July 19th, guys. We got 4 games on the docket. Best bets at the end. First up here, Bryan Leonard. Find him at WagerTalk.com. #1 handicapper in baseball over the last 4 years at Wager Talk. Bryan, welcome in. Happy Monday morning to you.
Nice day for me yesterday. I had a 5% winner, and then I had a 4% winner. So picked up about 10% in profit yesterday, and very excited about the upcoming week. It's been a nice start, other than a blown save with 2 outs in the ninth. It's been a terrific start to the second half, and I'm really excited. It's $9 Monday, and I've got one play up on the site for to sell, and it's a 5% play in tomorrow's NBA game. So we're 12-3 in the NBA in the playoffs. It's been terrific, and you can get that play for $9 today. Tomorrow it goes back to $35. So make sure you grab that today over at WagerTalk.com.
Bryan Leonard heating up on the diamond. He knows his action in the association as well. So check that out, WagerTalk.com. Tony, I believe we got you. Connection is good. Welcome into the show, buddy.
Yesterday, a good day here too. One play. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball had the Yankees basically in a pick'em, and they dominated Perez 7-1. Actually dominated Perez and the bullpen. So and I think the final was 7-1. At least that was the last time I looked. So, but we had a winner with the Yanks. Today we have 2 games going up. They're not yet posted. I'm waiting for a lineup on one, but I think we're good to go. 2 plays for Monday night on the diamond.
All right, $9 Monday. Good to hear somebody won in that Sunday Night Baseball. I was on the other side of you, Tony, so at least you got some money in your pocket. I'm off of an 0-2 day, looking to bounce back here, guys. We got first game up, Bryan, heading to the Queen City. We got the New York Mets, Cincinnati Reds here. Jared Eichhoff going for the Mets. Gutierrez, the 25-year-old Cuban, going for the Reds. The Reds lineup has been a little cold. 86 degrees here in Cincinnati, 7:10 Eastern start. What are you thinking here? Mets and Reds today, Bryan?
Quick note about the game that Tony turned off at 7-1. I believe it finished 9-1, and it made a difference for people who were playing the total, because it looked like a dead under in the 7th inning. And ends up going over, sneaks over. So that's a bad beat for anybody who bet the under there. But yeah, I've got 2 pitchers I'm probably looking to go against here. It's a situation for me when I take a look at these 2 teams. I'm looking at the offenses, especially as the weather heats up in Cincinnati. Good hitters ballpark. Jared Eichhoff's a guy that I don't want any part of. He hasn't been a good pitcher in a while. Gutierrez has got some decent stats. His hard hit rate is pretty good at 35.7. But other than that, you're seeing a lot of blue in his StatCast numbers, which is bad. So it's looking to be like an over type of bet. But when you take a look at the line, it opened 10.5 to the under. Now it's 11 to the under slightly. So the line's going up a little bit. So we've lost a little bit of value in that regard. Castellanos has been out the last few days for Cincinnati. He's questionable today. So until I know he's looking to be in the full lineup, he's the best hitter for Cincinnati. He's been their best hitter all season long. If I can get confirmation, then I may take a look at the over in this game. If not, it's probably going to sit out.
Okay, good stuff there, Bryan. And Tony, I was looking at this game. Gutierrez, I like this kid. Kind of the younger type pitcher going up against Eichhoff. And Eichhoff, 6 strikeouts and 6 home runs in 3 starts in MLB so far this year. He's a guy I'm looking to fade. The Cincinnati Reds, a lot better hitting team at home, also better against righties compared to the Mets. Now, the Mets in the later innings in my opinion, have the better bullpen here. That's what's kind of making me pump the brakes. But I was looking towards the Reds. Interested in your opinion, Tony.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you, both of you. I really want nothing to do with this game because the inconsistencies of both pitchers, and the Mets, the inconsistency of an offense that seems to need to be. They either need to be ahead by 6 or behind by 6 before we can really have any action on both ends of that Mets spectrum. But if I'm going to lean here, guys, I'm going to lean to the Reds, and that's more. Again, that's more of a fate of Eichhoff and what he's done and his history and what I believe would happen today, all things being equal, than to be on the Mets. So, and again, you're right, Drew. The Mets bullpen is better than the Reds bullpen right now. Again, they gave away almost everything last year, and they didn't sign Bradley this year, which I thought they should have done. We've talked about that this weekend, but in a nutshell, I'm not anywhere close to this game, but I would be a lean to the Reds.
All right, Tony. Well, next game up, you might have something here. Rivalry game. The Cubs and the Cardinals here heading to St. Louis. We get Alex Mills and Woodford going for the Cardinals. Woodford is a former first rounder in 2015 here, Tony, from Tampa Plant High School. Called up from AAA Memphis here, and it looks like he hasn't thrown any more than 2 innings in either AAA or MLB so far this season. And I say that, Tony, because the Cardinals bullpen, their top 3 arms are all off of back-to-back days here. So pitching-wise for the Cardinals, watch out, guys. I was looking towards the Cubs here, Tony. What are you thinking in St. Louis tonight?
Well, I'll ask you. I'd like to save this kind of for my best bet. It is my best bet for the show today, and I would agree with what you said. And I can get a little more depth with Woodward and the Cardinals and how many starting pitchers they have. This will be, I think, their 10th of the year at least, or even more than that. So if you want to wait, we'll wait, and I'll give you a full lowdown on how I feel about this game at that point.
All right, we got best bet from Tony Finn teeing it up there for the last segment of the show. So, Brian, throw it over to you. What are you thinking here? Cubs on the road haven't been good, but that's the way I was looking with all the Cardinals pitching questions here, Brian.
Yeah, you mentioned Woodford. I don't think he's going to go long here. It may just be like a spot start of a couple innings here, and then which brings on the St. Louis bullpen. And the St. Louis bullpen is a team that walks way too many players. Woodford in his limited time, 12% walk rate. That's just the way St. Louis has been. They're not giving up home runs this year, and they are walking a lot of players. Everybody's talked about Reyes being the closer in that regard, but really that seems to be an organizational type thing for the Cardinals. Lay off the home runs. If you're not in a good situation, don't groove the pitch. And so they're giving up a lot of walks in that regard. Normally, I would look to play the under with these two teams, but it's in a more of an under ballpark, and St. Louis really isn't hitting well. The Cubs' best 2 players are on the trading block. But do I really trust the under with these 2 pitchers going? I really don't. Alec Mills has been up and down, threw a no-hitter last year, and he's a guy that at times has looked good, but mostly he's struggled. And I don't trust the St. Louis team for the bullpen at all. So, and as you mentioned, the best players from the bullpen are a little bit tired. They might not be playing tonight. So I'm really torn on this game. Half of me wants to play the over, half wants to play the under. And I don't really want to bet either one of these sides because the Cubs are lousy on the road and they're in seller's mode. So to me, it's a complete pass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, Brian. And it's one of those like conundrums as a sports bettor because I handicap this game, Brian, and it's like, the Cubs are the side here because Mills, he's had 5 starts here since, he started the season in the bullpen. He's been pretty good, 26 innings, only 10 earned runs, 25 strikeouts, and only 6 walks. So I project him to pitch pretty well tonight. Now, against the Cardinals, he has over an 850 OPS against the Cardinals and 40 at bats. So they've seen him well. That's something to watch out for. But in the later innings, I mean, it's something we don't see a lot of. The Cubs not having the greatest season here, Brian, but their bullpen edge is there this game. Not only if the Cardinals were ready to go, all hands on deck in the later innings, the Cubs still have the better bullpen, a top 10 bullpen, whereas the Cardinals a bottom 10, in my opinion, than all the kind of with all their top 3 arms pitching back-to-back days, who knows what's going to happen in the later innings. And the starting pitcher for the Cardinals here hasn't made it into the 3rd inning all year. So that's what points towards the Cubs. But in your opinion, I mean, in your points here, the Cubs kind of sellers right now. They're not playing good on the road. That's what's making me pump the brakes. So, like, I know that you've handicapped baseball for a long time here, Brian. When you get a handicap like that, is it just, not bet it? Or is it something where, heck, maybe this situational handicap is something to look towards the Cubs?
It's not something I'm looking to bet pregame, but depending on how the game goes, I would be looking to possibly play some live betting, see how this game turns out early. Knowing the situation that the Cubs bullpen is the better bullpen at this point, maybe you could get, maybe the Oakland, if the Cubs are down a run through the 5th inning or something, maybe we can get a nice payoff here on playing the Cubs with the better pitchers coming up out of the bullpen.
Okay, good stuff, guys. And shout out to the chat box, Johnny, Blake, Rara in the house, Danzo as well, Kyle, welcome in, Christian. Guys, in the chat box, let us know what you're looking to bet on the card. And we do have 2 games left. So if you're watching on replay, that is cool as well. Please smash that like button and let us know below on YouTube, the Wager Talk YouTube, what you're looking to bet in this game, Cubs and Cardinals, with all the pitching issues on the Redbirds side. But the Cubs haven't been good away from Wrigley. We got 2 games left, both on the West Coast here. Brian, coming to you first with the LA Angels and Oakland A's, 9:40 Eastern first pitch. Looks like we have 10 miles per hour blowing out towards center field, 65 degrees projected here in Oakland. Irvin going for the A's, Ohtani going for the Angels. Total of 8, near a pick'em price here, Brian. You thinking anything here, Angels and A's in the AL West?
Yeah, one of these rare times that money has gone against Ohtani. I think there is a little bit of value here on Oakland and Irvin. Irvin's been a guy backed a lot this year and with positive results. Ohtani, the game opened like 120, and now it's the A's are favored by about 110 in that regard. When you take a look at Ohtani, his home numbers are much better than his road numbers so far this season. And it's a situation for me that he just walks too many players. He's dynamite with a strikeout percent at 30.7%, but he walks 12.4% of the batters. And this isn't a good matchup for him against Oakland because Oakland is a team that walks a lot. You take a look at who they're probably going to be starting tonight, and they've got 6 guys who walk 9% or better. Tony Kemp walks 15.5% of the time. He's batting 9th. Likely in this game. So Oakland is a team that I love to play on when they face guys with control problems. And that's something that we're going to see today with Ohtani. As great as Ohtani has been, and I believe on the last show I was on, I talked about him winning the most valuable player in the American League. So he's been terrific, but he hasn't been nearly as good on the road. And we'll see how it comes out. He pitched in the All-Star game. He hadn't pitched in a while, but he only pitched like the 1 inning or whatever in the All-Star game. I prefer the Oakland side here. I like the starting pitcher for Oakland here, and it's a situation for me and Cole Irvin. Go over his last 7 starts. He's been better than Ohtani. He's got a 56 average game scored compared to Ohtani's 54. His ERA 2.95 against 4.42. The Angels have hit lefties very well this year. I give them about a 25% advantage offensively in this game from a hitting standpoint. But it would not surprise me if a lot of the Oakland batters take some pitches. Ohtani doesn't go as long as he normally does. His last 2 starts, he went 41 against the Yankees, his worst start of the season, and then he comes back 89 against Boston next time. So he's only had, you go over his last 7 starts, only 1 game in which he's gone over 100 pitches. So he'll probably be out of here in 5 innings. And we bring on the bullpen of the Angels, which is not very good. And I'd much prefer the Oakland bullpen there. So it's something I'm going to keep track of. And I like Oakland going into the game. And I may even like them better in live betting in the second half of this game.
Yeah, they definitely have the later inning advantage here, Tony. And, just listening to Brian talk there about Ohtani, it's one of those things, it's like the MVP candidate, the modern day Babe Ruth coming over from Japan, what he's able to do here. I want to be betting on him, Tony, but like Brian just talked about, against Oakland, I don't like this matchup because the A's walk a lot. And sure enough, last time he faced them here on May 28th, he had 4 walks in only 6 innings. So it kind of sets up for maybe control issues again and some free passes here for the Oakland A's. Irvin, he's been good as well, but against the Angels, Tony, he's given up 8 earned runs in 11 innings. Not exactly great, 15 hits as well. So the Angels have seen him pretty well. A total of 8 here, not a very high total. Wind blowing out to center. I kind of like the over here, Tony. What are you liking in Oakland?
I would lean Oakland and the over in this game. I'm not on the game, but everything that Brian spoke to is accurate. And what you just described, outlined, is modern day. I don't know that we'll ever have a Babe Ruth, and I don't mean we'll ever have a Babe Ruth as far as athletically inclined will go. But mostly, it's a tough gig. It really is a tough gig to be a pitcher, a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball, and play every day. What it takes to prepare pitchers against professional batters, professional hitters. That said. It's just difficult, and I think this is what you're always going to have with Ohtani. If he's a full-time pitcher and a full-time player, a two-way guy, you're always going to have, is he healthy? What did he do last time? There'll be so many different trends on Ohtani. We won't be able to keep track of them alone. And first and foremost, I trust that Oakland's going to be bringing what they believe is their A game. They're going to be trying. They're in the hunt. The Angels still are hanging around 500, but let's be honest, no Mike Trout. We don't know when Trout's coming back. He was eligible to come back on the 17th, which was yesterday or the day before. And there's too many question marks there. I mean, if we're attacking this game based on what we're going to get tonight, what we know we're going to get tonight, Irvin's the play without question.
And Tony, it's interesting you say that about Mike Trout. On Twitter, He just posted over the weekend OAK with the airplane symbol there on Twitter. That's it, though. Yeah. It's not like he's playing. It's not like, but where did that tweet come from? Do you guys put anything into that? We might see him in the lineup tonight, Brian.
Yeah, basically what I read was he's making the trip with the team. I don't think from what I have read that he's going to be playing, but it should be inspiration for him to be on the trip to Oakland, and he's excited, and I'm sure fans should be excited because one of the best players, if not the best player in baseball, although he's injury prone as of late, but he's a hell of a player. And just to have him in that dugout, I'm sure is going to brighten up the faces of the rest of the players on that team.
Sure. And Tony, I mean, that middle of the lineup for the Angels, with Trout, I think it's pretty good as it is, but add Trout to it. Middle of the Angels lineup would be really good. You think that would actually, I mean, it would, but how much would it change the odds here if Trout was in the lineup tonight?
Well, I don't know how, I mean, anytime you come back from that kind of extended injury list or IL stay, there's a lot of things to look at. Trout's history, he has a pretty long history. He's been injured many, many times. And for the most part, Trout doesn't miss a lot. I mean, when he's back, but inspiration, motivation, smiles on faces, I could not agree more with Brian. The problem with that is in my world, listen, it's difficult to win games in Major League Baseball. You have to be on your A game. And the fact that the present day or the today's Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle, let's say, is in the dugout, doesn't win games. Again, this Angels team has been. We talked about this. I remember at the beginning of the season, we said if there's one thing you can count on in Major League Baseball, the most constant is that you can almost fade the Angels, that they never seem to meet expectations or haven't during Mike Trout's era, and it remains that this year. The status quo remains the same. So that's where I'm at with that.
Sure. The lack of playoff appearances with Mike Trout and company. I mean, Brian, do you think, just real quick here, it would change the line 5 cents, 10 cents if Trout was in the lineup tonight?
He would probably change 20 if he was in the lineup and healthy. Especially, they just brought up Brandon Marsh, who's one of their key outfield prospects. So they just brought him up a couple days ago. So he's in the lineup, and when they get Trout there, they'll be in pretty good shape, and they still got their number one prospect in the minors that'll be called up anytime soon. So the Angels, have some really good outfielders on this team that are going to change that offense for the better. But until he gets up there and he's healthy and he's playing every day, you're paying a price if you're going to expect him to be as good as what he normally is.
All right, guys, we got one game left and best bets at the end. Reminder, it is $9 Monday, WagerTalk.com. You can get Bryan Leonard's top play, 5%er there for just $9 today. Tony Finn as well, up and available at WagerTalk.com. We got Johnny Outlaw in the chat box saying about a 10-cent move if Trout is in the lineup. So thanks for commenting there, Johnny. And feel free to, guys, again, if you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a line below. We got the San Francisco Giants and LA Dodgers in the nightcap here. Kevin Gausman, the all-star, going up against Tony Gonsolin here. Minus 135 favorites, what I'm seeing the Dodgers right now, Tony. So a little bit of money here from the opener, as we're seeing on the graphic, at minus 110 for the Dodgers. So they've taken money throughout the day. Gonsolin, the former ninth rounder in 2016 from St. Mary's College there in California, the basketball school. What are you thinking tonight in the nightcap, Tony? Giants and Dodgers.
Well, I think let's put it this way: if I think the money that's been laid on the Dodgers is twofold. One, Gausman, missed a start. Didn't miss a start. The game was canceled or postponed, and so he was moved and pulled. And now he's starting. I think his last start was on the 11th of July, and now here we are on the 19th. So a little more than a week. There's some people shying away from that, and the fact that it's the Dodgers in LA and save yesterday's blown save by Jansen, which was a long time coming. I think. By the way, I think the fact that he hadn't blown a save since mid-May or whatever it was is amazing. It's absolutely amazing from watching him pitch. Gonsolin hasn't been able to reach 6 innings, I believe, this year. Been posted past 5 one time this year. I really don't like what I saw from the Giants offensively this weekend in St. Louis, but I'm on Gausman tonight. This price, Gausman against Gonsolin. I trust that San Francisco is, going to have their A game tonight. If they're not, then why are they? What have they done the whole first half of the year? So in this case, with the pitching matchup alone, and not talking about the lineups and runs scored because San Fran has struggled, I am on the small dog, the small visiting dog at Chavez Ravine in the Giants.
All right, and Gausman and Gonsolin here. A little tongue twister for you, Brian. They've actually both been good. I mean, far different sample sizes this year with Gonsolin, 25 innings, only 6 earned runs, 31 Ks in those 25 innings, not bad. But, I mean, you talk about Gausman here, Brian, 114 innings. He's a workhorse the first half of the season, 133 strikeouts, only 30 walks, 1.73 ERA. These are some spectacular numbers here from Gausman. Tough to go against, especially at a plus price. I like the small dog as well. What are you thinking tonight in the nightcap, Brian?
Yeah, it's interesting how the money's coming all over the Dodgers today. To me, this is from a must-win situation. I think the Giants are the one with the pressure in this game because they're down to a 1-game lead against the Dodgers, and everybody's talked all season long that the Giants were going to fade. Well, Tony mentioned how they didn't play very well in St. Louis, and St. Louis is not one of those teams at this point of the season that I think is playing very well. That concerns me about the Giants. But Gausman, what I do like about Gausman is he's done very well against the Dodgers the last couple of years. But his worst start was the last time he pitched in LA, and that was on the 29th of last month. He had a 48-game score, gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings, but the other games that he pitched against them the last 2 years, he's got a 69, a 54, and a 75 game score. So he's been very good against the Dodgers the last couple of years. And Tony Gonsolin, as good as Gausman has been, now granted, you mentioned it, it's a small sample size, but Gonsolin's just been terrific. The guy's been great. Average game score of 54 his last 7. You take a look at his last 5, all over the league average of 50. He doesn't give up home runs. This year in 25 innings, given up 2 home runs. Last year in 46 innings, 2 home runs. The year before that, 40 innings, 4 home runs. You're not going to give up home runs with Tony Gonsolin. That is something I like when I'm looking to play the under. And I think this game has some value on the under, and I'll leave that to the best bet. But, Yeah, at this point, the advantage that San Francisco has is they've got 11 guys in the lineup that walk 9% of the time. And that's the one thing Tony Gonsolin does is he walks people. He's walked 15 players in 25 innings. That is the weakness of his game. And since he's already on pitch counts, he's only up to 83 pitches last time, which is as high as he's been this season. I could see San Francisco waiting him out and taking a lot of pitches in this game and getting some base runners. And so I agree with Tony. I think San Francisco is the right side here, but I prefer the total better. But we'll speak about that in just a moment.
All right, best bets coming up, guys. Final segment of the show. What we've all been waiting here for. Tony Slick Finn, WagerTalk.com, $9 Monday. Check out his plays right now. Tony, where are you heading for best bets, buddy?
I'm going to make this is the Cubs. We talked about it earlier when we were going to cover it, and I said let's wait till the end because not that I have anything profound to say about either club, but it was the best bet. So here we go, and that is it's the Cubs. It's the Cardinals. Typically it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry between the fans, much more so demographically than it is probably between these two teams. You have two teams that one's a seller and one doesn't really want to confess to being a seller, but they are a seller, and I'm speaking of the Cardinals. The president of operations, John Mosey, which it's Mosaic, and I say it Mosey because it's easier to say when I'm on the air, and they were about 9 games back. They are 9 games back, first place Milwaukee. And at the end of June, he made a couple of statements when he was talking about this team and where they were headed, and he acted very excited. He talked promising about what he expected in the second half. But he made some comments about one of the pitchers, who was Woodford, for today. They had sent him down. Actually, they'd sent him down to AAA. He had been with a team. They sent him back and made a bunch of pitching moves. And one of the reasons they made these pitching moves, guys, was that they've had, I think I said earlier that 10, but Oviedo, he made 11 starts for this Cardinals team without a victory this season. 11 starts, not one single victory. The same really applies for today's starter, which is really all they did with him when they sent him down. Woodford was to get him stretched out so he could fill some innings. And that's in a nutshell, and trying to keep this best bet shorter. And that's what this team's doing right now. When you have guys like Flaherty and Kim and Wainwright and Miles Mikolas, John Gant, LeBlanc, Ponce de Leon, Carlos Martinez looks like he might be done for the rest of the season too because of that thumb ligament strain. So this team is going out there hoping that they can at least appear competitive, keep some fans in the stands, and start preparing for next year. Cubs, listen, until the Cubs sell off, this team's still out there swinging the bats and trying hard and doing the best they can. They don't pitch very well. The bullpen is better than the St. Louis bullpen. And this play tonight, my best bet is based more on what I believe this Cards team is going to do from here to the end of the season, which is not care a whole lot. I mean, I care. I'm talking about behind the scenes more than the players themselves. So the Cubs and Mills, who we know we're going to get an effort from. Listen, the guy's not dead. Woodford has shown absolutely nothing at the major league level, and all they're trying to do is get 100 pitches. I've heard it from the mouths of babes, from the coaches, from anyone I know. Tonight's play, Cubs over the Cardinals.
I like it, Tony. Looking towards the Cubs over the Cards tonight. And guys, I got a big barking dog, a live dog here in the Cleveland Indians near plus $2. I got them at plus 188 here against the coldest lineup in baseball. The Houston Astros right now, injury concerns. They've scored 1 run in their last 2 games combined here. WRC plus well below 50. So this is a cold lineup. I'm fading them here. I don't think they should be laying $2 here with Zach Greinke on the hill throwing 86 miles per hour against a young Cleveland Indians lineup. Mejia on the hill. He hasn't been good, but getting his second chance here, called up from AAA Columbus. I got the slightly better bullpen here in the Cleveland Indians, and heck, a plus 188 price tag. Only got to win 36% of the time to be profitable long term here, guys, with these big underdogs. Plus 188, risk 100 to win 188 on the Cleveland Indians. Plus, guys, Houston Astros first game back home since pre-All-Star game. That's a fade opportunity as well. So Cleveland Indians plus 188 for me, Brian. I got your Cleveland Indians, Brian the Truth Leonard. Where are you going for best bets tonight, buddy?
Well, I hope you win, being an Indians fan. I just can't back them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, though. I'm going to go with the under in the San Francisco Dodgers game. To me, it's going to be playoff atmosphere. You've got the ace going for San Francisco. You've got a very good pitcher going for the Dodgers. It's a situation that San Francisco needs to win this game. I don't think if San Francisco goes into and doesn't win the division, has to go into the wild card, I think that hurts them. I think the Dodgers are better. They have the talent to be able to win a wild card series. Don't know if the Giants do, although it's hard to say about the best team, the team with the best record in baseball right now. But I expect both these teams to pitch very well in this game. They're going to play it out as if it's a playoff game, like both starters. I'm going for the under. 8's a tough number, especially the way the Dodgers are hitting right now. But I'll prefer the under in this game as my best bet.
All right, good stuff, Brian. Guys, in recap for the best bets, Brian Leonard on the under in the nightcap there. Giants and Dodgers under 8. Tony Finn, Cubs against the Cardinals. And I am on the Indians, plus 190, plus 188, widely available out there, guys. So Brian Leonard, Tony Finn, I am Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in. Please smash the like button. Best of luck out there. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Come back and join us. Have a fun, safe Monday night. We'll talk tomorrow, guys.
How much do you want to pay for the NFL and college football season? You decide how much you want to save. Right now, WagerTalk is offering their lowest price for the 2021 NFL and college football seasons.
Good luck tonight, guys. Sorry, I was
the regular
sorry
season, we are offering special early bird pricing, but these prices will increase by $20 per sport and $30 for the college football NFL combo every week until the season kicks off. Saved up to $200 this week by buying your favorite WagerTalk capper for the package. And remember, the longer you wait, the less you save.